Dressrosa, the longest arc in One Piece to date. If you were to ask me and ask other people, what was the moment that stood out for you? What was the moment that got you hyped? What was the moment that got you looking forward to more One Piece? I would straight up say Fourth Gear. The introduction of Fourth Gear, seeing the reaction, seeing the whole One Piece fandom, fanboy over this form was absolutely hyped and was absolutely exciting to see. And me personally, I actually like the form. I know there's people out there that don't really like the form. I know there's people out there that are not really a big fan of the way the form looks. But today, guys, I, Dr. Blick, the darkest man around, will be fully explaining Fourth Gear. So if there's been a time for you to get that fried chicken and get that Kool-Aid, now is the perfect time, because this UK Trotter brother will be fully explaining Fourth Gear, looking back on the history, looking at the pros and the cons of this form. So without further ado, let me just get on with this.
We are on the cruise. We are.
Fourth Gear, the form that helps Luffy increase his power. This is done by Luffy covering his arm with armor haki and then biting onto it. Once he's done that, he will then blow a large amount of air into the arm. This is done so that Luffy can actually inflate the muscle structure in his arm, and Luffy will then spread out the air through his whole entire body. But this is mostly used on the upper half of Luffy's body, hence why Luffy has small ass legs. Hence why Luffy has small ass legs. But when it comes to the first appearance of Fourth Gear, it first appeared in manga chapter 784, the arc of Dressrosa, April 27, 2015. And when it comes to this form in terms of pros and cons, pros, it has a lot of power. Like, it took out Doflamingo, who Luffy was clearly struggling against before he went into that form, to being near enough dominant and near enough being able to fly, and also being able to retract his arm into his body and then pop it out to smack it at Doflamingo. So in terms of pros, he has a lot of power and he has a lot of cool techniques that come with this form. For example, Rhino Snyder, Calverine, and the ability to fly. Luffy has a lot of things that he was not able to do in any other form of himself. So in terms of pros, there's a lot of pros, and the cons are there. So if Luffy's fighting against someone in this form, he better end the fight quick or he is gonna run out of steam. And when I mean run out of steam, there is a limit of how long Luffy can actually be in Fourth Gear. And when I mean a limit, I mean if Luffy doesn't end the fight quick, if he doesn't end it to a set time, he's gonna run out of steam to the point that he loses all of his haki and his body's overly exhausted. Like, look at it this way. You're on a track and you have to run around it, like, let's say for example 4 times, and you run your fastest for the first 2 laps. As soon as you get to like the 3rd and the 4th, you're going to be tired. You're not going to be able to continue on going. That's pretty much essentially what Luffy's kind of doing. He's using too much haki at once to the point that when he's not able to use it, his body's completely exhausted and his body's completely worn out. But when it comes to comparisons, when it comes to similarities, there's quite a few similarities out there. And when I mean quite a few, there's pretty much only 2. And the first one is the Nightmare Luffy. Nightmare Luffy, in terms of the design, in terms of the way it looks, you can see the face and the size of it. It really pretty much does look like Fourth Gear. Like, people would pretty much say that Oda got the idea from Nightmare Luffy. But not just only that, there's another similarity as well, and that is Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Number 1, the design and the tone of the voice that these characters go into. And when I mean the tone of the voice, like when Luffy is in Fourth Gear, his voice goes a lot deeper and he sounds a lot more serious, you know what I'm saying? The same with Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And then you gotta look at the arms. Like, Super Saiyan 4 Goku's arms are covered with hair, which is his natural sort of form because he's got the tail now. His arms are covered in hair and the hair is red, and same with his arms and same with the whole entirety of his body. And then when you look at Fourth Gear, Fourth Gear is pretty much covered in haki all over his arms, and the shading is similar to him. You can obviously see that he's using elements of Second Gear because he's still steaming. His steam is still coming out of his body, yada yada yada. There's a lot of similarities. I put the pictures up on the screen so you guys can see what I mean. But when it comes down to the overall form, the form is dope. Hopefully we can see more of it. And also, it was also hinted that this is probably one of many forms of fourth gear, because this is known as fourth gear bound man. If it was just known as fourth gear, then you wouldn't really hint at them there being another one. But as a whole, guys, I want to know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Tell me if you liked this video. If you liked it, see the history of second, third, and obviously you would have seen this one if yeah. But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below, because this has been UK Trotter Brother, Dr. Blick, the darkest man around, and it's time for me to put down that fried chicken and the Kool-Aid and wrap up this video. So please comment and subscribe. I know I say this all the time, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying, please leave a like, rate, and enjoy this video. And yeah, I'll catch you next one, guys. Bye.